Hey, Michael Kerr here. I'm going to answer as succinctly as I can in the next 10 minutes or so how to attract and retain employees. It's a question I get all the time. It's a huge question. So, I'm only going to be hitting the highlights here, but I think I've got some really important points that you probably will want to consider if you're going to attract better employees, more employees to your workplace, and you're going to keep your employees. Because, you don't want to be, doing the old catch and release like some fisher people do. You catch the fish, you release. No, you want to keep the fish. So you want to attract the fish, but you want to keep the fish. So I've got some suggestions on how to attract employees and retain those employees coming up after this.
Let's energize your workplace. Mike's here for some serious fun.
So how do you attract great employees to your organization and retain those employees? Well, it all comes down to culture. Are you intentional? Because great cultures don't happen by accident. You can't go buy your culture at IKEA. You need to intentionally build your culture. You need to build the kind of culture that people want to come and work for. So you've got to know that it all starts with culture. It's your number one competitive advantage. It is more important than your business strategy, especially when it comes to attracting great employees. You've got to build the kind of workplace culture that will attract employees who want to work in great workplace cultures. And we know, especially these days, more and more, that employees are willing to work for less pay in order to work in a more positive, supportive workplace culture for all sorts of different reasons. It may be a culture that allows them to be more creative or give them more flexibility in how and where they work. It may be a culture that allows them to be more creative or where they feel more appreciated and recognized. But we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that great cultures attract great employees. But there's a chicken and egg relationship here, right? You want to build a great culture in order to attract great employees, but at the same time, you need to attract great employees to help you build that great rocking culture. So there's a positive feedback loop going on here now, a mechanism, right? You got to attract great employees, you got to keep those great employees, you got to build that great culture so you keep attracting great employees. So the second part of the equation, though, is to make sure you are celebrating then your culture. You can't be your community or your country's or the world's best kept secret. You've got to champion your culture. You've got to sell it and sing it from the rooftops. So talk about your culture in social media. Talk about your culture on your website, not in just some vague way, not in just a couple of lines. I see this all the time where there's a few throwaway lines about people's culture on their About Us section where they say, yeah, we like to have fun. You got to say a little more than that. Bring your culture to life. Bring your values to life. Make it meaningful. Create some passion. Use everyday conversational language. Talk about your culture. Have your employees do fun videos to bring your culture to life. Have a day in the life of video to show your workplace in action throughout the day. Create a fun top 11 and a half reasons to come work for our team. Some of them can be serious, but some of them just make them really fun. So you're creating that fun energy that helps to sell your culture. Have employee testimonials on your About Us section where you bring your culture to life. But talk about it in meaningful ways and in deep ways so that people have a really good sense, employees have a really good sense of what your culture is like before they even have applied for a job in your company. So they know whether they're a good match for your culture or not. And talk about, and this can be a fun part for some folks, talk about what you don't want in new employees. Create a list of the things that drive you nuts about employees and put it on your website. And just be upfront and say, hey, we are not looking for employees who are jerks. We are not looking for employees who are chronically late. We are not looking for whatever it is. Talk about what you're not looking for and clearly define what you are looking for to attract more employees and better quality employees. Now you want to make sure you're hiring for a culture fit. It doesn't do anyone any good if you hire employees that are not a culture fit. It doesn't do them any good, and you're going to lose them within a few months because they're going to realize, oh, you were selling me a bill of goods. This is not what I was expecting. So you got to be honest about your culture. And in your interviews, you've got to make sure you're relentlessly not just hiring for skills or aptitude or the technical requirements of their job. You can train for so many of those things. What you cannot train for is a personality, a pulse. You want to make sure you're hiring first and foremost for attitude and people that will be a fit for your culture. That's why so many organizations relentlessly spend a lot of time, sometimes multiple interviews, just focused on making sure that this person is a match, that this person is going to fit in with our team, that this is somebody that we want to spend the bulk of our days with, day in and day out. Somebody who is going to help our culture grow. And this is an important point too. You don't want to just hire for a culture match, because here's the problem with that. If you just have that in mind, that you want to hire for good culture fit, the danger is you start hiring people that are just exactly like you. And I get it. You're pretty awesome. Who wouldn't want more of you in the workplace? The problem is, you end up with groupthink, right? You end up with too many people who all think alike. You don't have diverse perspectives, and you can end up with that groupthink, and you can end up actually stifling your culture. So rather than hiring for culture fit, culture match, instead, look at it this way: hire for culture growth. Who can you bring in who is going to help you move the culture in the direction you want to move your culture toward? And so part of this means that in the hiring process, you're not just turning this into a one-way conversation where you're just grilling candidates. You have to make sure this is a real dialogue, that you're spending as much time assessing their fit for your culture as you are selling your culture. Because look at it this way: if you were trying to hire the best possible person for whatever the position is, doesn't matter what the job is, for the best possible person for that job, well, if they truly are the best possible person for that job, then guess what? They can go work anywhere they darn well please. They can go work to your competitor. So you need to sell the benefits of you and spend as much time talking about your culture, selling your culture, as you do talking about them and asking them questions and getting to know them. So make sure it is a really meaningful two-way conversation that you have when you're hiring new employees. Now, once you've relentlessly hired for attitude and hired for culture, make sure you onboard and train new employees for your cultural norms, for your values. Give them proper training. We know from research that this can have a huge impact on employee retention rates. Even just on the first day, the importance of a first day welcome and how you onboard employees and having a conversation with them about their future and their goals. It has been shown in the research that this can have a substantive impact on how long employees stay with you, a substantive impact on reducing employee turnover rates. So if you want to retain your employees, make sure you infuse them with your culture right from day one, that you make them feel welcomed. Now, I've written a whole book on this topic. It's a small book. It's a quick read. You can get it as an ebook, but there's lots of great ideas in it. Hire, inspire, and fuel their fire. How to hire, onboard, and train new employees to live your culture out loud. So I would suggest picking up that book if you are serious about this topic. And then, of course, once you've got those employees aboard, you do want to make sure you keep your employees. So make sure you are continuously building that rocking, great, positive workplace culture, infusing your workplace culture with recognition, infusing your workplace culture with a little bit of fun, celebrating your sense of purpose and meaning, connecting employees to a sense of purpose and meaning, making sure you're living your values out loud, communicating relentlessly. All of those things go into fueling a positive workplace culture, and all of those things have an enormous impact on employee retention. So make sure you never stop focusing relentlessly on intentionally building a more inspiring, fun workplace culture. So, what do you think? Do you have questions? Do you have comments? What are you doing in your workplace to attract employees into your workplace culture and retain employees? Please leave a question, a comment in the comments below. Cruise by www.mikekerr.com. Go to the bottom of my homepage and sign up, if you wish, for my weekly newsletter, Inspiring Workplaces, where I talk about this very topic of creating inspiring workplace cultures. And if you sign up, you will get a free ebook, 401 Ways to Create a More Fun, Inspiring, Rocking Workplace. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my Inspiring Workplaces channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's easy for me to say, subscribe button, and join our growing community as we talk about inspiring workplaces that